Hi, I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Rihanna, and welcome back to Fresh Off the Broke.
Fresh Off the Broke is about personal experiences growing up Asian American in a predominantly white community, Asian media, and Asian pop culture in general. Race has always been a sensitive topic. Every day, there are debates over race. With our podcast, we intend to shed light on the experiences of first-generation Asian immigrants, not put them on a pedestal.
We understand that race isn't everything, but there should be an acknowledgement of people of color, the knowledge gap, and the racial divide that will ideally be broken. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into the episode. Today's topic is Asian variety shows and commercials.
Now, before we start off the episode, we'd like to wish everyone a Happy New Year.
Yay!
Hope everyone is well as they can be.
In these trying times.
Yes, they're very, very much trying. I've been seeing a lot of memes recently where people are saying that they're too afraid to claim 2022 as their year, or everyone's been avoiding making big goals or big statements. There was one that I saw. They said something about walking into 2022 very slowly. Make sure you don't touch anything.
Yeah.
Let's all tiptoe this one.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, fair. People are a bit weary now with 2020 and then 2021.
Let's just take it easy when we think of our New Year's goals and resolutions and just hopes for the year in general.
Yeah. Okay, I found it. These are going to be up on the screen too. The first one, it says, before I agree to 2022, I want to read the terms and conditions. And the second one says, nobody claim 2022 as quote unquote your year. We're all going to walk in real slow. Be good, be quiet, be cautious and respectful, don't touch anything.
Yeah, essentially.
Wear gloves, wear masks, wear your protective
gear. Stay away from people.
Yeah. How are you feeling about this?
I agree.
Me too. Let's try not to have any expectations.
Yeah.
Especially those that are out of our control.
Yeah, you can't let yourself down if you weren't really expecting anything in the first place.
Yeah, let's go one day at a time, or maybe even 1 hour at a time.
Yeah. Very slowly. Take everything very slowly.
Yeah. You know, think about what you're having for lunch later, what you're having for breakfast. I don't know what time of day it is for you. And when you're listening to this podcast, comment down below. You know those people when they watch music videos, they'll say, "Oh, who's here in 2020? Who's here in 2022?" Yeah. If you're here from, I don't know what year. Let's go with 2023. Let's try not to go too far ahead. If you're here from 2023, leave a comment saying, who's listening to this in 2023?
It's just going to be us commenting that.
I think it would be funny if someone commented, who's here from 2020?
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's the general air going on right now. People are a bit weary, a bit nervous. No one wants to say anything, touch anything.
No.
It's 2020, y'all.
Just stay calm.
Deep breath.
It feels like, you know that meme from The Office when there's a fire and then Steve Carell is like, everybody stay calm, and he's like screaming. That's what it feels like.
Yeah. One thing that stayed pretty consistent with New Year's, despite the whole weariness, are New Year shows. Those tend to be pretty extravagant, pretty uplifting. Everyone generally in a very joyful mood, lots of celebrity performances, maybe comedy act. And one that's pretty well known, at least in the West, I would say, is the one that's hosted by Ryan Seacrest. It's called New Year's Rockin' Eve. Yeah, Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest. That one's in New York, right? Yeah, that's the one with the ball drop. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty interesting how certain New Year's shows, they're known for certain things. I know that sounds pretty vague, but the one that I've seen in Asia, or specifically in China, there isn't a ball drop show, but this one with Ryan Seacrest, people usually know it as the ball drop.
Yeah.
The ball drop. Yeah. Do you have any New Year's shows that you usually tune into? Or do you have one that you always watch?
Not really. I think what my family usually did, like before COVID, like when we could have like parties inside and stuff, was that we would just like be not partying, but like be all together, like eating or whatever. And then at the 10-second like countdown, we would turn on the ball drop, like show part of the show, and then like once it drops, like we basically just use that as a counter. Even though I'm pretty sure there's like some sort of delay.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But that's all we normally did. And now we don't really even before COVID.
Yeah.
It's not like, I guess from my experience in like Philippine tradition type thing, it's not good luck for you to be outside of the house during New Year's. Like you should be in your own house, or the house shouldn't be empty.
Yeah.
So we like stopped going to family parties and just like stay at home.
And, so it would have to be your respective house.
Yeah.
Oh.
So now I usually just try to sleep, if anything.
For me, I also don't really have a go-to show. Sometimes my family, we will watch the ones in China because they're pretty extravagant, and it's usually this huge concert-like thing. And I don't mean concert as in it's just a bunch of people singing, but it's usually huge venue, lots of people, a ton of stuff lined up, and it will be across. It's pretty much similar worldwide, but the big channels, they will have their own individual New Year's shows, and they'll have these famous people, and then that channel will have those famous people, and at the end there's all these really nice fireworks and graphics that you see when they're doing the countdown. I will sometimes tune into the ball drop because that one is technically most accessible since it's just on TV.
Yeah.
But if we want to watch the ones in China, we can go on YouTube and find a live stream or through this subscription service that we have for Chinese television. I've always really liked how extravagant the Asian ones are. Yeah, there was one I watched. This celebrity, they were a big G-Dragon fan, and if you don't know who G-Dragon is, he's this very successful K-pop star and fashion brand founder.
Oh yeah, I forgot that he had a fashion brand. Wow.
P-1. And so this celebrity that was part of the cast or the lineup for this New Year's show, they were a huge G-Dragon fan. And they surprised her. It was a prank at first. They surprised her with a cardboard cutout. And then while she was reacting to the cardboard cutout, G-Dragon showed up. And it was stood next to the cardboard cutout. And then she screamed and fell to the floor.
And he was literally just standing there.
It was pretty cute.
Man, if that was me, I would probably also fall to the floor.
Yeah, I mean, you get a cardboard cutout thrown at you. Well, not actually thrown at you, but you're presented with a cardboard cutout, and then all of a sudden the man is right there. She didn't even notice. He was just standing there quietly at first. And then she saw. She's like, wait a minute.
It's almost like
Then
a
she
jump
screamed.
scare.
I know.
Similar to what you were saying about how Asian New Year shows are more extravagant, there is a very big difference between Western and Asian TV shows in general. Like, from the top of my head, an example of that would be just the emphasis on variety shows in Asia versus the, I guess, lack of variety shows in the West.
Yeah, I find a lot of, I guess, I don't know if leisure is the right word, but a lot of shows that people watch for entertainment are usually more on the reality show end of things. And there definitely do exist, like, in Asia, they do have the whole trash television reality show genre. But I would say that the West has more, and more people enjoy it. I don't know a whole lot. I don't even know if I can list 5 trash reality shows from China. I don't really know. Do I even know one? I don't think I do. Well, me not knowing one doesn't mean they don't exist. I'm just one Chinese person. But I usually keep up with a lot of media or popular shows. So that goes to say something. That shows something.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, again, I'm going to talk about this later, but I don't really have any experience with Filipino shows because my parents never watched them growing up, or even like just Filipino channels in general. They are accessible here. But we just never watched it. So I don't really have a say, or at least like I can't speak for the masses here.
Man, we ain't got a good representative here today.
You don't. I apologize. And maybe like maybe the things that I'm going to talk about are pretty general, but I have no idea if they are. So, yeah.
Good disclaimer. To the Filipinos watching, Rihanna, yes. Would you like to present a little apology?
Yes, I would. I apologize for my lack of knowledge on Filipino shows in general. I know that the entertainment business is a very big part of Filipino culture. However, I have old parents.
You have what?
Old parents.
Do they watch more Western shows, or are they not big TV people?
I would say my mom likes British shows. My dad is not a show person. He watches YouTube videos. He watches a lot of Filipino vloggers. That's like his thing recently. Yeah, but that's not really a variety show or commercial. So unfortunately, we have to talk about that at a different time.
What kind of British YouTuber does your mom watch? Ollie and
Oh no.
Does she watch Korean Englishman?
I tried to get her to watch Korean Englishman because, especially on their like their Jolly channel, which, if you guys don't know, there's a YouTube channel called Korean Englishman, and I guess the main guy on Korean Englishman and the guy who mostly does the camera work for Korean Englishman, they have a separate YouTube channel called Jolly, which is a mix of their names because their names are Josh and Ollie. And on Jolly, they focus on more British things. And yeah, I tried to get her to watch some of them because they had a whole video about like British tea time and all that. But no, she watches I don't think anyone's gonna know this. It's called Keeping Up with Appearances. It's a really, really old British like comedy show. Yeah, that's like her main thing.
Someone in the audience might know.
Oh, yeah. Another one that she also really likes is Midsummer Murders, which honestly I also like that too.
I've never heard of it.
It's a murder mystery.
Real or
Oh no, not real.
interesting?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was gonna ask if your mom was like a great, what was it called? The Great British Bake Off kind of person.
Oh, I feel like she would be, but that's on Netflix, right?
I don't have Netflix. I would not know.
I also, well, I used to have access to Netflix, but now I don't.
Oh,
And we can't, when we did have Netflix, or when I had Netflix, I couldn't put it on the TV. So I don't think she could have watched it, even if she wanted to.
yeah, not on anything else.
I don't think so. Let me double check that. Okay, so apparently you can stream it on CBC.
Oh, that's relatively accessible for Canadians, right?
Yeah,
CBC is a free channel.
yeah. Okay, I lied. Um,
Liar!
I lied.
We need another apology.
I apologize. It's pretty accessible, but then again, um, it's not
No
on our
excuses. No
cable.
excuses.
It's not on our cable, so she
No
wouldn't watch
excuses. Take
it.
accountability.
I apologize.
There you go. One other thing that I find pretty different between Western and Asian TV shows, at least from the ones I've seen, especially in East Asia, the text formatting and everything on shows, specifically variety shows, far different from Western shows. They'll have the fancy font. Even if you go on YouTube and you look at the thumbnails for the shows, completely different from if you looked up a thumbnail for The Bachelor or what's another Western kind of reality
Kim
show.
Kardashian, or Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Kim
Kim
Kardashian.
Kardashian.
That show's over, right? Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
I think so, but like people always not repost, but talk about it.
That show's was ongoing for many, many years. So even if you started today, you got a lot of content to watch for
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah.
Probably how long had this gone on? Maybe
Too long, honestly.
ever since. I feel like this show has been going on since the 2007. Dang.
Dang.
And it ended
Relatively recent.
2000 and June 20th, 2021.
Wait. Okay, that's really recent.
Yeah.
I thought it was like it ended like 20 like 18 or something like that.
No, that's too far back. There's no way.
Dang.
That's crazy. Huh. I've never watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians. That's not my type of content.
I agree with that.
I'm more of a not keeping up with the Kardashians person. I'm more of a looking away from the
Looking away from the Kardashians.
That's our version of the show. Yeah, I'm not that big. There's a lot of people that do like watching reality shows or quote unquote trash television because they like watching rich people fight or go through whatever it is that they go through. I don't really enjoy that. I don't really like watching those types of personalities. If I'm gonna have free time and I'm gonna watch something, I want to have fun, and that type of stuff doesn't make me have fun. It just makes me think about people I don't really like, or maybe I don't mean they remind me of people I don't like. It's just those type of personalities aren't my thing. I don't like the whole, oh my god, like what are you even fighting about? What even is this? This is just for content.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also really like how in some Asian variety shows they'll have different point of view. So they'll have For example, say you got these people out and about. Maybe they're filming from outside somewhere. And then you have these people in a studio. And when the people are out and about, up in the corner, you'll have the little frames of people reacting.
Yeah.
And everything very cartoonish and cute. Even if it's, I don't mean cartoonish in a childlike way, although that exists and is perfectly fine.
Mhm.
But I just really like the way that the crew and the people working on these types of shows play with graphic. For example, sometimes you'll get scared by something, and then there'll be a little ah. And I think it's cute. It has some personality to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's usually one of the things that I see people from the West comment on if they ever see a East Asian variety show for the first time. They'll say, "Oh wow, there's so much. Whoa, there's all these colors, the fancy text."
Yeah.
I think one of the first things they mention or notice.
I guess for people in the West who aren't used to it, it can be like distracting almost.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially in China, the shows, they have subtitles at the bottom. And I don't necessarily mean subtitles as in English subtitles, but they'll have Chinese subtitles because in China they have so many dialects. And so with the text at the bottom, no matter what dialect you speak, you could probably read it. Because a lot of the shows in mainland China are in Mandarin,
Mhm.
and that's not what every single person across the country speaks. And so you can read the subtitles to kind of get it. That my grandma does. She doesn't really know Mandarin. She just knows Cantonese, and she reads subtitles. Pretty useful, pretty accessible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Even if you're hard of hearing, you can also.
Yeah, that's really
See
useful.
it.
And
Mm-hmm.
here, like, you have to, only some channels have closed captionings or just like subtitles in general. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really appreciate it. It's something that sometimes I'm not used to when I'm watching other shows,
mhm.
and I appreciate they have that there because growing up when I was still learning Mandarin, that really helped me.
Yeah,
If I
that's
didn't
true.
understand something, I would just stare at the words. And also, even as I was learning how to read, if someone said something that I'm familiar with, but I don't know what it looks like, I'll just look at the screen and I'll look at the subtitles and I'll see, oh, so that's how you write that.
Mhm.
And it was really helpful for me growing up.
I never even thought of that. Wow.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a little thing, just for accessibility or even just for convenience.
Mhm.
Mhm.
What are some of your favorite variety shows?
That's a pretty good question. Off the top of my head, in terms of Chinese variety shows, I can think of two. There's one I really like called The Great Escape, and that one's really well made. It's about escape rooms, hence The Great Escape. And every episode, they have these really elaborate escape rooms with rich stories, great actors, and you're never bored. It's not just, oh, this is just for content or this is just for whatever. The problems that they have to solve or the different tasks that they have to complete as they move on to the next step is completely unlike a escape room that you would go to for a birthday party or just an escape room that you would pay to go to. I've never seen something this elaborate and this well done. I imagine that because in the show and at the credits, they do say that they're working with this escape room or this company, and so I'm assuming if someone wanted to, they could probably go to this escape room. It would definitely be really expensive because the work that goes into making these sets and everything, they're huge, they're so nice, they're so realistic and everything. It's definitely super expensive, at least from what I imagine. And it's super entertaining too. They they really take their time and they put effort into solving the problem. For example, sometimes they'll get stuck on something and it will take them maybe half an hour or 2 hours. Of course, they won't show you the full 2 hours. They'll cut part of it out and be like 2 hours later or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not something where, oh, wow, this was so easy. Oh, this and that. And the tasks, they also tailor them to some of the cast members. For example, this person's not there every episode, but there's this former Olympian that's a regular cast member. And so sometimes some of the challenges they do, you can see that it's probably tailored to him, or it accounts for the fact that because he's there, they're gonna make this certain thing taller or this certain thing more strenuous, just to play to different people's strengths or weaknesses. And it's a great show. I highly recommend. It's available on YouTube and there's English subtitles, so if you're not familiar with Mandarin or reading Chinese, you could definitely watch it. My second favorite show, in no particular order, is called Keep Running, which was formerly known as Running Man China, and the reason why they changed the name is because there was a period of time when Running Man, which is a Korean variety show, there was a lot of really crazy drama going around with different cast members, and they were saying that the show was going to end. And so if Running Man ended, you can't just have Running Man China, because then it seems like that's the only show. And so they had to change it for that. That's like, as far as I know, that's the reason why. That's what I read. Running Man China, when it was called Running Man China, Keep Running, and Running Man, they actually have the one episode where they got the cast of Running Man to be on Running Man, well, Keep Running, known now. And it was pretty interesting because they have the language barrier, but then each group, they have similar dynamics. Like, oh, you got this person that's known as this type of personality, and you have someone kind of similar from the other show, and they mesh pretty well together. I thought that was really cute. And one thing I really like about Keep Running, they'll have these really elaborate stories or meanings behind their episodes. And not necessarily stories as in what I was saying with the escape room, but there's a lesson at the end. For example, there was this one about how each person is like the main character of their life, and they shouldn't like compare themselves to other people, or they should like do their best to better themselves and focus on their own life, right? And there's one about climate change. There was a recent episode that I thought was really good. They went to a trade school, and they were promoting that you don't have to pursue a traditional education. You don't have to go to a university. You can go to trade school and be very successful. There's lots of great pathways that come with that. I really appreciated that. I don't go to trade school, but I thought it was interesting to learn about trade schools and see people's dreams, because I don't know a lot about trade school, but I personally always thought that they were pretty cool, just because with trade school, it's teaching you everything about like the trade and preparing you for the workforce. And then, for example, university, there's a lot of research or more theoretical things. And so trade school and similar places, it's a lot of hands-on work. And I really admire the hard work that goes into that, because they're preparing specifically for the workforce of that thing. And for example, stuff like carpentry is not easy at all.
Oh yeah.
I could never. It's not, and there's stigma around that. People think, oh, that's not a real job, or that's not an admirable job, but it's so hard. I don't know how to do stuff like that. It's crazy. And I really appreciate how it's not just, oh, here to promote this. Although, with a lot of variety shows, when they have guests, they'll be here to promote a certain thing that they're working on. But the stories of the shows themselves are pretty profound. Trade school, you're the main character of your own life. You are talking about climate change. There's ones about Chinese culture, and they'll interview people that were there from decades ago when this certain village was first, quote unquote, in the dumps, if you know what I mean. And then they evolved over the decades, and they get to interview people actually from that time.
That's really cool.
And it's really inspiring. I appreciate that. I love this show. This one's also available on YouTube, and they have English subtitles. So if anyone's out looking for some good content, I recommend The Great Escape and Keep Running. What about you, Rihanna? You got any recommendations?
So before I say my recommendation, I again would like to say I have no idea if these shows are popular. I mean, from what I see online, it seems to be popular, but I don't know if generally a lot of people watch this show. I'm not sure. I just know
we could check. You could check rating.
we could, but then again, yeah, on YouTube there's like 161 ratings.
160.
Or not YouTube, sorry, Google.
I'm confused.
You know how on Google they have you can do audience reviews of a show?
Yeah.
Kind of like a Yelp thing.
Oh, I meant
show.
Rating as in media rating.
Oh.
When you go online and they have the
like an IMDb rating?
No, like on Wikipedia when they have the reception page.
Oh. I don't even know if they would have that for this.
I probably would. Accolades.
I mean, it has won a lot of awards apparently. Jeez.
Then that's probably pretty popular.
Okay, I'm
it's
scared.
Won many awards over the years.
Sure, though. Like, I don't know if it's like what audience watches this, you know? Like, it could be a lot of old people for all I know.
That's okay. We have older audience.
not like millennial audience. I mean like old people.
That's like 3 or 4% of our audience. Oh, they won a Student's Choice Award.
They won a Catholic Mass Media Award.
They won many Student Choice Awards.
This is very interesting. Okay, well, I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, what is the show that you're talking about? The show translates to Your Heart or One at Heart. What's it called? The host is Jessica Soho, and it's essentially just like a news, I guess, magazine show. That's what a lot of people describe it as. It just features a bunch of stories on different like events, trends in pop culture, maybe food, celebrities, all of that. But for me specifically, my parents really like the supernatural aspect of the show. So during this, I guess, segment of the show, they talk about a different Filipino folk legend, and they will go to an area where people have a lot of like reported sightings of this folk legend or I guess monster, and they'll interview the people and also do like a live or not live, a dramatic reenactment of their experience, and they'll get people to dress up as like the monster, the folk legend, and have someone act scared when they see it. It's very very dramatic, and it's kind of funny, but at the same time the makeup done on these people is sometimes quite scary. I would say.
Yeah, I guess they did a good job.
Yes, they really did. It's like, please don't have this on my TV.
Oh, it's that bad?
Well, it's more of a, again, in a previous episode I've said this. I don't like the whole little girl with hair in front of her face.
My
So
mom
when you
hates that
have,
too.
yeah, when you have like something like that just on the TV staring at you for an elongated period of time, it's a little
Yeah.
uncomfortable, you know?
I understand.
Yeah.
Not many people enjoy and I can't say I do either. It's a popular trend, a popular type of character.
Yes.
Creepy little girl.
But yeah, so I would recommend specifically the supernatural parts because you can find them like cut on YouTube.
Right, a lot of shows they have that.
Yeah.
Especially with talk shows.
Mhm.
It's like
And
with Jimmy Kimmel.
yeah, like
or-
segments.
Yeah.
I have not seen a full episode of her show, so I
Mhm.
apologize to Miss Jessica. But the supernatural segments are A plus. So yeah,
The rest of the show you'll have to figure out for yourself.
yeah.
One last show I personally want to recommend is a Korean, maybe it's variety. It would probably be counted as variety. I personally wouldn't categorize it that way. It's called, and it's an unfortunate translation of an English name, but it's called Problematic Men. You think when you hear, oh, what are you watching? Problematic Men.
That's a very specific thing you're watching there.
Sounds like a YouTube compilation,
Yes.
or just a compilation in general of bad people. But it's a Korean variety show. Yeah, it counts as a variety show, and it's all about riddles or brain teasers and problems like that.
Mm.
And I always found it really interesting because every week they'd have these new, very elaborate questions that you have to figure out. Sometimes they're very visual. Sometimes they're more on the numerical side. It's a pretty wide variety of styles of questions. And I always found it really interesting to watch them try to solve it. And you can solve it at home as well. There's sufficient amount of time. It's not where they just skip ahead and then, oh, they got the answer. Like, oh, they're thinking 2 minutes later, it's done. No, you'll get to see them go through the process of guessing. Maybe they're wrong. Maybe you got the same answer and you were wrong too. Maybe you solve it before they do. And they also will have celebrity guests, as many variety shows do.
Mm.
They've had many Korean actors. They've had K-pop stars. You know, if you're a fan of any of those things, you could maybe look up Problematic Men,
Yeah.
and then look up the name of a group you like, or maybe an actor, and then maybe they've been on the show. It's a pretty popular show. Unfortunately, it's currently on hiatus due to COVID.
Mm.
And as of recent, when I looked at it, it says that it's been on hiatus since 2020.
Oh.
Yeah, which is pretty unfortunate.
I mean, it's probably for the best, but
Oh, yeah.
that is
Of
still
course.
a sad thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's because they're inside and it's
Yeah.
like a group of people just sitting together on a table. There's a lot of talking and drawing on. I
Close
understand
contact.
and respect this type of decision.
Mhm.
For sure, especially with, I mean, in 2020, I don't think they had Omicron, but with even more recent developments.
Yeah. Even worse. Now.
Yeah. They've been going at this since, let me see. Wait. They've been going at this since about 2015. Yeah, 2015. So there's over 200 episodes that you could watch.
Yeah. Dang.
And if you want to start now, maybe you'll, by the time you finish, they'll be back already.
Yeah.
Depending on if you're the type of person that watches 50 episodes in a day, or if you're the type of person that watches one a day or one a week. If it's one a day, maybe they won't be back by then, because there's 365 days in a year.
Pace yourself, maybe.
Yeah. This one is also available on YouTube and probably other Korean, well, maybe, I don't know if I want to say Korean, but there's probably different websites that have Korean shows that you could access this on. Same with the Chinese ones I mentioned. If you have any type of Chinese subscription service, or if you have an account on any of those media websites, Keep Running and Great Escape are definitely on there. And then with Problematic Men, definitely a very accessible show.
Just like how Asian variety shows are pretty next level in their production, Asian commercials are also on a whole other level. It's crazy.
100% agree. There's always two extreme ends of the spectrum when it comes to Asian commercials, where there's one end where Mimi is crazy, chaotic, sometimes very questionable.
Yeah.
And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have the insurance commercials that make you want to
God.
bawl your eyes out.
Oh.
The ones that you see on YouTube from years ago with millions of views because people just can't look away.
Mm-hmm.
Tears in their eyes, just, gosh. We're going to start off with the comedic end of the spectrum.
Yes.
And we'll make our way down.
Yes.
When I think of a funny Asian commercial, I think of the I love refrigerators, man.
Absolute legend.
Yeah. A quick disclaimer for copyright sake, since we ran into a few issues with our Asian comedians episode. If for whatever reason this video, well, not this whole video, hopefully not, but if the clip we're about to show you with Sam Pak gets taken down or they tell us to cut it, what happens is it's like less than 30 seconds, I think, or 15 seconds clip where Sam Pak, he walks down this runway, well, not a runway, but there's fridges to his side, and then he walks down from afar to the camera slowly, and you just see him walking, doesn't say anything, just walking very happily, strolling, and as he gets to the camera, the video's almost over, and he just says, I love refrigerators. And in the case where there is no copyright issue, you can just see the video as it plays right now.
I love refrigerators.
Now, this man goes by the name of Sam Pak. He's a legend. I love him. And he loves refrigerators. And just the whole way the video is formatted and everything, it's just hilarious because it's very much your regular commercial style video, but then you have this man walking from one end of the refrigerators all the way down to right in front of the camera, and he said, I love refrigerators, and he's so happy. And I found out while we were researching this commercial, he has a YouTube channel called Sam Pak, and it turned out that he's the owner of a line of appliance stores called Appliance Direct, which you'll notice in the video. It'll say at the bottom left corner, Appliance Direct. If you didn't buy direct, you paid too much. Very cute. And if you look at their YouTube channel, it's amazing. I love it. And I know what you're thinking. Tiffany, what are you doing giving free promotion to an appliance store that you'll probably never shop at? I love their content. I don't know much about the refrigerators because they're based in Florida. I'm not there. I'm not from there, so I have no idea. But their videos are awesome. We were looking at some of their recent videos, and the spirit is still there. This man, he's ecstatic about his appliances.
Mm-hmm.
He's here. He's here for it. And the funny thing is, their text formatting, their typeface and everything, stayed the same. Their branding still yellow, got the green text, got the lovely font with the 3D effects and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Some would argue it's outdated. I think it has personality.
Yeah. He has a brand.
Mm-hmm. And something really funny about us looking into this company, I'm going to throw it up on the screen, but on their website, there's this one page called Store Locator. And with many companies on their website, when you have the locator thing, there's a map and it's embedded Google Maps or a similar app.
Mhm.
And next to the map, you have a picture of Sam pointing to it so happily,
Yeah.
just gesturing
Literally, like,
towards it.
Presenting it.
Yeah, and it's so cute. And he has the Appliance Direct uniform on. It's just
Wholesome.
no. He's on the front page of the thing too. It's so cute. I don't know who works on the web design or just the general graphic design of this website and their stuff in general, but I love it. It's hilarious. Has personality. So cute. They definitely make use out of their green screen.
Yes.
And it's lovely. Shout out to Sampack. Shout out to refrigerators. We actually learned a decent amount about refrigerators
did.
when we were researching this company and their background.
really
We learned what counter depth refrigerators are.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know what a counter? You should look it up. It's pretty interesting.
And
I'm not telling you.
You should
I'm not
watch
telling you. I'm
his
I'm
videos.
gatekeeping it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gatekeeping it. But I think it would be a more enjoyable experience if you went online and looked up what a counter depth refrigerator was, or specifically, if you went to the Black Friday video on the Sampack channel to learn about counter depth refrigerators. And in the box, you'll if you know, you know, and you'll know if you check out their website. I mean, you can check out their website. Maybe if you're from Florida, go say hello if they're open.
Yeah.
And tell Sam that you think the I Love Refrigerators video is great. He seems like the kind of guy that would have a sense of humor about it. I don't think he hates it. Right?
Yeah, it seems like he's the one who wants to be doing all of this.
Mm-hmm. Very cute. I love Sampack. What a hardworking man.
Yeah.
That original video, the I Love Refrigerators one, is from a decent amount of time ago. And so the fact that their content hasn't really changed shows that he's probably very passionate and happy with the work. That's what I would say.
Again, very much his brand.
Mm-hmm. Very cute. Shout out Appliance Direct, straight from Florida. We love Sampack.
We do.
Mm-hmm.
We stan.
And if you're listening to this Sampack, hello. I love refrigerators.
Yeah. You're great. You made us want to buy a refrigerator. You made us research refrigerators.
Mm-hmm. We learned about counter depth refrigerators. I never knew what that was before.
Me neither.
Yeah, and we
really
learned about the benefits.
Yeah.
Classic salesman.
Moving on to a still funny but a little bit weird commercial. This one was making its rounds on TikTok, so you might have seen it before. But basically, I need to tell this story properly. There are two lizards, and they are about to embrace. They are animated lizards. Well, not animated, like CGI lizards. So they're standing on their back legs. And they're...
lizards do.
Yeah, obviously. They seem to have had a well-awaited reunion, very much lovers, I'm assuming, and they're finally running towards each other, about to embrace, and all of a sudden the floor cracks and it breaks. So one of the lizards is hanging onto, I guess, the cliff, and the other lizard is like, no, no, like it's squeaking. It's like trying to save the other lizard, but no, the crack is too big, I guess, and the lizard can't hold on, so the lizard falls, and the other lizard is so heartbroken that it jumps off as well with its lover.
Oh my
And
god.
both of these lizards fall to their demise, which just so happens to be right in the center of these three older men who are playing some sort of game. They're probably gambling, and they just stare at these two lizards that have now fallen onto the ground. And then they realize, like, oh no, this was a love story that just happened. And then one of the guys starts yelling at the assumed owner of the house, saying, "This is your fault that they died. It's because your ceiling is old and broken. You should have got it fixed, and these two would have been alive and living a happy life together." And they all start crying. And then all of a sudden, the logo for a ceiling fixing company pops up onto the screen.
No.
Yeah. So great. So I love the dramatics, the emotion, the plot twists. So great.
I give them an A for creativity for sure.
It's definitely out there. You have no idea where this commercial is going until the end.
Yeah, it keeps you invested. You're
Mhm.
not looking away. Well,
Yeah,
maybe you
I-
would if you think it's a bit weird.
I definitely watch until the end to see what is going on my screen. But yeah, writing true love stories just for the sake of a commercial.
Did it make you want to wait? It's a ceiling fixing company, right? Not
Yeah.
a ceiling company.
Some
Okay.
I don't know for sure. It definitely was a ceiling something company.
Uh-huh. Were you convinced that you had a lizard couple to save?
I mean, honestly, yeah. It worked.
You see, marketing. These people, they're ahead of their time.
They really are.
Whenever that time is supposed to be.
Yeah. Like, who even thinks of that? Why aren't you writing Hollywood movies right now?
Oh gosh. I wonder how that story would unravel if it was an actual full-length movie.
I feel like it.
What would the backstory of the lizard? Would it be like a Ratatouille kind of?
God. Very interesting.
The thing I'm curious about, and you might not have the answer to this. So you said that the lizards, they fall to their demise through the ceiling, and so they're not. Are they human sized? Or are they just very small
No,
lizards?
they
and
are
then the
they are
humans see
lizard
them?
sized.
Okay, and then the humans they see and they're like, oh no, this is so sad.
Yeah.
Interesting. So they know the lizard.
They see the first lizard fall, and then they put the pieces together that this is a
Right.
love story somehow in those 2 seconds. But yeah, they are literally lizard sized. They're
Okay.
very tiny.
I was thinking human-sized lizard.
Oh no, no.
That would be kind of disturbing.
Like there's a whole comedy aspect in the fact that it's like a close up of these two lizards about to embrace, and then one of them starts to fall dramatically, and then it zooms out to just 3 people in a house, and the lizard just splats onto the floor because it's so small, and they're like, what just happened? Yeah.
That's kind of funny. Yeah. I don't know if it makes me want to get my feelings not broken. My feelings fine. You know what? Good job.
It definitely stays in your mind. So I mean, I guess that works.
Mhm.
You know who to
For
go
sure.
to if your ceiling breaks and you witness a tragic love story.
Speaking of tragic things,
Oh God.
we've reached the other side of the spectrum.
We have.
Yeah, we started off with Sam Path, and then we moved on to something more in the middle ground of funny and sad, and now we're at sad.
We've made it, unfortunately.
And Asian insurance commercials are crazy.
hmm
They're always so profound, and they're well made for sure.
Yeah.
It's so evil how they have the color grading, gray and kind of dark. You already know.
Yep.
Gosh, and if someone were to ask me about Asian insurance commercials, I think a good 3 or so would immediately pop up in my head. My dad's a liar.
That one. Oh my. I can't even think about it.
There's this one about something. It was something about passing it forward. There was this guy that does a good deed and helps someone, and then someone else does something, and it's so sweet. There's these one. There was also one of similar nature. Something about this girl wanting something at a bakery. They're all. Why did they gotta do that? And it's for like life insurance.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Y'all are evil for that.
I know.
Fully.
You're trying to. This is predatory.
Yeah. This is rude on all levels.
Yeah, so
I feel
rude.
personally offended.
I do. But they're so well made.
Yeah, the production value is like, is this a short film?
They could be, honestly.
The My Dad is a Liar one. I remember when I first saw it, I think it was going around on social media. I thought it was like a short film, and then it was an insurance commercial.
Oh god. They honestly, if you told me that it was one and I'd never seen it before, I would believe you. And you could maybe, I don't know how the logistics work, but you could maybe submit one into a short film contest. Not you taking one and then submitting it, but
Don't actually do that.
I mean, the people that made it could probably submit it and then maybe get some results out of that.
They're just so. They do what they sought out to do
Mm-hmm.
at the expense of
Make
the
you cry.
viewers. Yeah.
I don't know. The only thing, I don't know if I would say it's a qualm I have, but at the end of watching one, I'm not sure I'm convinced of.
Life
I
insurance.
wasn't really sold the product per se.
No.
I was just crying.
Yeah, I just get mad when I see the life insurance commercial. I'm like, you really did that to me for the purpose of selling me your life insurance?
Yeah.
Like, screw you. This is emotional damage.
Yep, it's predatory. This is why I only watch commercials done by Sam Pack.
Yes, no harm there.
Mm-hmm. He loves refrigerators. We love refrigerators. You, at home or wherever you are listening to this, you love refrigerators, and I'm deciding that for you.
Yeah.
You don't get a say in it.
Been converted into loving refrigerators.
Yeah. That was indeed a huge dive into the world of Asian variety shows and commercials. Of course, we couldn't cover every single show or every single commercial, but we covered the major part. Covered lots of ground.
Mm-hmm.
And I had fun.
Me too. I went through a variety of emotions, but, you know.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
I had fun with the exception of the insurance commercials. I never have fun with those.
No.
those emotional. That's just an emotional attack. That's just no.
They literally use those for try not to cry challenges.
Yeah, and actually something I'm curious about and kind of interested in doing, if possible in the future, would be if we did a try not to cry challenge with the Asian insurance commercial. Yeah, let us know if you're interested in that. Let us know who you think would win.
Let me just say, let me rephrase the title of that. Let us know if you want to see me cry and Tiffany just laugh at me crying.
Okay, I do think that I would maybe win, but I don't think I'd be laughing at you. I think I'd just be really silent.
Yeah, that is true. I know you'd win.
Say that with so much.
I'm confident in you winning. I know for a fact you would.
It's like when we watch horror movies. Oh my gosh, I thought Rihanna, because we're both pretty interested in horror. I would say she's probably a bit more than I am. Yeah. But then when we watched a horror movie for the first time together, she was like screaming.
I am that person.
You wouldn't expect. Well, yeah. we hope it was a fun way to start the new year, talking about the media we like, a little cozy conversation about fun variety shows, escape rooms, problematic men.
I will have to watch the escape room show. I'm very interested.
Sam Pack is not a problematic man as far as we know.
No.
So I hope everyone is having a
cautious New Year.
Yeah, I was thinking of what's like a smart word to use. Let's not over expect. Let's not cautious. Everyone, don't touch anything.
Yeah, be careful, y'all.
Yeah, tiptoe. Watch your step. Watch your surroundings. Let's just
take it easy.
Yeah. No rackets. No. Happy New Year, y'all.
Yeah.
Be safe. Be careful. We will be too.
Yes.
And as always, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in to our first episode of the new year. Yeah. Whether it's your first episode or your 47th episode, we appreciate your presence. And as always, this is the part where I start recommending things for you to comment. So leave a comment down below if you know any of the shows that we mentioned, if you've watched them, enjoyed them, if you have any recommendations yourself. Let us know what you thought about any of the commercials we brought up. Have you seen the lizard couple commercial?
Have you cried?
Over the lizard couple?
Yeah.
Do you know Sam Pack? Are you Sam Pack?
Yeah.
You're Sam Pack. I would love it if you said hello.
Please.
I'm not planning on going to Florida anytime soon, but if I did, I would love to visit.
Yeah.
One of your stores, just to see.
Do a little vlog there.
That would actually be really fun.
That would.
I would love that. That would be lots of fun. Only time will tell.
Yeah. If you guys like this episode and want to stay connected with us, check out our website in the description. It contains links to our streaming platforms such as Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and more. Follow us for more behind-the-scenes content, announcements, and other random things we decide to put on there.
See you next time.
Bye.
Happy New Year!
Yay!